welcome to the 283rd episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on May 7th, 2022. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the man who is currently well-fed, Carlos Rodella.
Yeah, I had dinner before we recorded.
Very unusual turn of events. You're usually starving, and neither one of us had dinner before the show, except tonight. I just got done eating. You got done eating too, right?
Yeah, although last time we did this, the show was a little slow.
Well,
because we're full.
I mean, I guess this is like the pre-napisode or something. I mean, it depends on what you eat, right? Like, I mean, not to get like too far into this, but like, certain things you feel okay, and certain things you got to like immediately nap. I don't know what you had. I had some very delicious barbecue chicken, some onion rings, and grilled corn, and I'm feeling pretty okay right now. I don't feel too tired.
I don't feel too tired, but it just seems like, I think if we're hungry and like we're anxious almost, it's like the episodes are better because we're
just like rushing through it so we can get some sustenance.
Yeah, we're like firing on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just had like Chipotle chicken with some crackers. I have a very light snack dinner sometimes.
All right, yeah.
And so I feel, the food isn't getting to me, but I feel like later on it's going to somehow make us slower. But we'll see.
Well, we'll see what happens. All right. Okay, so I guess now that we're done with the dinner portion of this podcast, let's get down to what we're here for. Gosh, it's so weird because we're recording on a different day. We're recording at a different time. We both have eaten. I feel like it's so strange that like all these things that are happening that don't usually happen when we record. I feel like I'm a little bit out of my groove here.
I know. You know what we're going to call this episode?
What?
Write it down. It's going to be the Strange Cast.
The Strange. I was thinking the Weird Cast, so we were on the same track.
Well, either one. I like either one. You can pick which one.
We'll do yours.
And the games that I picked are weird, kind of. And I don't know what you picked. I forgot, but or I don't know what you have. And and I have some weird housekeeping. So this is maybe it is the Weird Cast.
It is the Weird Cast, I think. All right, let's get this Weird Cast underway, and we'll end up seeing how weird it is, folks. As regular listeners know, and if you're a new listener, I'm about to tell you, Carlos and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a roll of duct tape, a giant strip of silver duct tape. It's very sticky.
I didn't know it was silver.
I've always imagined it being silver. What did you think of it as? Black?
I thought it was blue, like your old school,
Blue. Yeah. Interesting. Now, I've always thought it was silver. Whenever I think of duct tape, I think silver, but I guess it could be. Well, tonight it's blue today. We took out the old strip, put in a new strip. It's blue in honor of Carlos. I got looks like 3 things, which is like an all-time high for me. Carlos, what do you got this week?
I have 3 things too. So because it's the Weird Cast, let's do one, and then you do one, and I do one, and you do one.
I don't know if I can handle that much weird.
That's pretty weird. Let's do it. It's
all right.
Different.
Let's do it. You go first.
So my first one is Death Trash developer Stefan.
I don't know
how he's. I'm
Whatever
not
he
sure.
finds to be the most respectful.
I'm gonna say Steven. That's how it's spelt.
Okay.
He was on Twitter and tweeting, and I was, I've always followed his stuff because I want to play more Death Trash all the time. But he tweeted, and there's a quote: "The timeless quality of 2D art. Ultima 7 looked great to me 30 years ago. It still looks great to me today." And that's like after my heart because Ultima 7 is my favorite.
You're Mr. Ultima
game ever, yeah. And so I replied to it and also added Richard Garriott, who made Ultima.
Tag old Rich in.
I had to tag him. Come on. And I just said something like, "Yes, it's my favorite game of all time," and just gushed about how good it is. But he added a screenshot, and it's beautiful. Like certain pixel art and certain kind of like simplified graphics can stand the test of time, and Ultima 7 sure does.
Oh yeah, it's all about like artistry, man. I mean, you can take anything, any kind of medium, but if it's really well done, I think people will be able to see the value in it no matter what. Like, I mean, pictures from a million years ago by artists in a different medium, like you look at them and still see the beauty. Same thing with like video game art. I mean, certain things are just beautiful no matter what, right? Like, I think that is definitely a testament to artistry.
And the other piece of that real quick is that the other reason why I love that game so much is at that time, it was one of the first games that like let you pick up so many different objects, which I probably have said on this podcast before, but it was good art and you could, everything was like, you could make everything out. Like here's a little fork on a plate and the plate's on the table and you could like pick up all those objects separately. Right. And so that made that whole world much more believable, even though it was like simple graphics.
Yeah, I mean, I never played it, but I definitely remember like the games that were around at that time, and in comparison, that was definitely like a step forward for sure.
Oh yeah, and it had NPC, jobs and stuff. So like people would
Yeah.
go to bed and they go to work, and again, this is like a long time ago, and all of a sudden they were doing all that stuff that certain games today still don't do. So
Yeah.
shout out to Steven, I'll say, and correct me if I'm wrong because you probably will listen to this. So let me know how you say your name. But shout out to you for doing that awesome tweet.
Right on, right on. I will go next. I was sent a PDF version of a book that I believe either just came out or is about to come out. It's by author Kate Hannigan. It's illustrated by Zachariah Ohora. It's called Blips on a Screen. And this is a book which is meant for children, and it is about the life and times of Ralph Baer, who is one of the grandfathers of the video game industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's done in a really cool art style. It's kind of like comic book style, where there's like lots of illustrations. Every page is just like bursting with like characters doing things, and it really goes into his history. I gave it to my son to read because it's kind of like meant to be at a kid level, like it's not a grown-up book or anything like that, which is totally fine. And he read it and he thought it was really really cool. Now, interesting story. I gave it to my son and I'm like, okay, so look, I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. I need you to give me like your full like quote unquote book report version so I can talk about it effectively. He's like, yeah, no problem, Dad. Cool. So I gave it to him. He read it, and then he was off doing something today. So I sent him an email real quick. I'm like, hey, so tell me about that book. I got to talk about it. Like, was it good? And he's like, it was good.
Oh
Like,
jeez.
oh my God, son, you're leaving me hanging here. So I flipped through it myself really, really quickly. My son really liked it. I did talk with him afterwards. He said he really liked it, and I believe I could be mistaken, but I believe Ralph Baer, like he was like emigrating away from the Nazis when that was happening in World War II, came to America, just really like worked with some of the beginning technology. They talk about like Pong and getting that started off the ground. And
Yes.
I mean, like the old, really, really very basic beginnings of the video game industry. I mean, if you know anything about games, if you've done any kind of game history, you probably have heard Ralph Baer's name many times. But it's a really cool book. I think it takes a really key part of video game history, condenses it down in a really approachable fashion that I think even kids who don't really care about game history will find approachable and just really interesting. Because my son doesn't really care a lot about game history, but he thought it was a great book. So shout out to Kate Hannigan and Zachariah Ohora. Blips on a Screen. It's either out now or it's about to be out, and I think it's really cool. So check it out for yourself. And if you got a kid who loves games in your life, maybe pass it their way too.
I want more of those types of books because we have to like preserve history, especially about video games, when a lot of the games themselves won't be preserved. And I think that's a good way to do it. Like a kind of visual style. Ralph Baer, by the way, he's in a bunch of documentaries about games, but he created the Brown Box, which is essentially the original Pong. Even before Bushnell and all the other people. So, and yeah, they've definitely. That's a cool way to do it. So check out the book.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love reading about this stuff, but often it's like this really heavy, really intense, kind of very like, educational sort of kind of thing. But like having it so approachable and so open and so just like you just look at the pictures, you want to just pick it up and flip through them. I think is great. I love the approach. And like you said, I would love to see this done with other, luminaries of the video game industry. I think it would be perfect. And let's preserve that history. All right. That was it. Blips on a Screen. Good stuff. Throwing it back to you, Carlos. What's next on your agenda there?
So I just wanted to let you know, as well as everybody else, that this game came out, and I'm really on the fence with trying it. I think I am going to try it. It's called King Arthur Knight's Tale, and if you remember, it's a strategy RPG. I don't know if it's been on your radar at all. It's been on mine.
Is this from the same people that did that Warhammer 40K game, Inquisitor?
That's exactly why I'm bringing it up. Yes.
All right.
So now Warhammer Inquisitor was real time, right? Action. Like
yes, it was.
Action RPG kind of thing. This is strategy, but it's closer to XCOM. But you love XCOM.
I love XCOM and I love Inquisitor and I love all those things. And
See?
I'm pretty neutral on Knights of the Round Table. I don't particularly love them. I don't hate them either. So I'm open to this. Like it's checking a lot of boxes for me so far here.
Right, and the King Arthur thing, I think is just like a name, but like you're fighting monsters. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an RPG.
Sure.
So
all right.
I think, and the graphics look amazing. And I think, if I didn't do any research, because I never do, but it might be early access still. I can't remember if it's like a full release yet. But, it exits early access. So I think it's officially out now, which is always a funny transition. Okay, now the game is ready.
I mean, it's funny you say that. And we can talk about this a little bit later in the show. But like, even when it exits early access, it's not really out of early access. It's like, for me anyway, as we always refer to, like 6 months afterwards, maybe even a year afterwards, that's when it's really done. So I'll
Yeah.
check it out for sure, but I don't believe that it's done right now.
Well, anyways, check it out either way. I'm interested. And again, we like where it's coming from. The developers of Warhammer Inquisitor, a game we both loved. So
Yes,
everybody just check it out.
love that game. Yes, check it out for sure. Okay, back to me. Let's see here. Okay, so we talked about what was that game that you were talking about last week? The not Peggle, but the other one.
Peglin.
Peglin. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it is. Thank you. So we talked about Peglin on the show last week, and listener Stephen Thompson Jones, hello Stephen, sent us a tweet either yesterday or maybe early this morning or something, and he was like, "Hey, you guys talked about Peglin, and I wanted just to throw out this game called Round Guard." He's like, "I didn't
hmm
hear you guys mention it in the context of that discussion," and the reason for that was because I don't think that I had even heard of it. Carlos, were you familiar with Round Guard?
I wasn't, and I saw that tweet as well, and I'm gonna retype it into Google because I didn't check it out yet.
I looked it up last night, or maybe it was this morning, and looking at the screenshots, I definitely had never seen it before. It was not familiar to me, but it looks kind of like Peggle, but instead of a ball, you've got a little circle-shaped character, but they also have like little weapons, and you're kind of like shooting this character around a screen. It seems like there was also level ups or some kind of power ups, and it was also a roguelike structure. So it seems definitely like something that I would like to check out. And I want to say a big thank you to Stephen for not only for listening, so thank you very much. It always makes me feel good to see that somebody out there in the wide world is listening to our show, but also for this recommendation. I love getting recommendations from people out in the audience. So I'm going to check it out. I want to say that it's on Switch. I think it's on Switch. It's definitely on Steam. And so if you like Peglin or Peggle, or if you want to try anything along those lines, Stephen Thompson Jones says that Round Guard is where it's at.
I'm buying it tonight. I have. I found out that I have the gift card for Steam, so it's $10 on Steam. I'm not sure what it is on Switch if it's on that,
That's not a bad price.
but $10 not a bad price, and it seems like similar to Peglin in the fact that it's like kind of cartoony art, and more like friendly and funny than like heavy duty RPG.
It would be weird if you did a Peggle game and the graphics were like photorealistic.
I
Where you
don't
had
know.
like
I would like that actually.
that would be kind of bizarre. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that, but I think it looks cute, and Steven says it's great, so I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Dude, I'm buying it tonight. So thanks a lot for that, Steven.
Right on,
Um,
right on. Back to you.
on that front, I just remembered we had another tweet from Intergalactic Geo.
Okay.
And she was talking about Elex because remember Elex 2, where did that go, right? I don't know what this tweet was. Oh, it was me and Gaming in the Wild. And Intergalactic Geo replied, and we were talking about Elex for a little while. But yeah,
hmm
like they were saying, and I'm saying that like I don't know, I kind of fell off with it. Like we loved Elex 1. We were like the biggest fans ever. And
I think we were the two biggest fans
the
ever.
two
The
biggest
absolute
fans
two
ever.
biggest
Yeah,
fans ever.
exactly. And they were saying like tough, wonky combat. It's kind of weird. And I guess for me, was reminded from that tweet that like I haven't went back to it yet, and that's crazy to me.
I mean, the answer is two simple words, and those words are Elden Ring, dude. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
I 100% loved Elex. I got so close to finishing it. I think I just had a handful of missions. I was very excited to come to Elex 2. Definitely want to check it out. But I mean, the fact is, Elden Ring happened, and Elden Ring is really good. We've talked about it on the show 94 times. We both have put like hundreds of hours into it, and it's huge. It's a huge game. It sucks up your entire life, and it's just like you can't focus on anything else. And honestly, I mean, I bought Elex 2. I have it, but I haven't touched it, and I'm planning on getting to it once. I finished Elden Ring last week, and so I'm just like kind of like just decompressing a little bit, kind of like getting into a different headspace because it
hmm
just like was everything for 2 months, right? So once I have got my breath back, and once I got my energy back, once I'm ready for another big experience, I'll definitely check it out. But man, I got to be honest with you, right now after Elden Ring, I just want to play like little shorties and quickies. I don't want anything big right
Yeah, that's funny. I did the exact opposite, which you'll learn about later in the episode. But
now.
anyways, I'm agreeing with all the conversation that was on Twitter around it. But like, I don't know. I've left it alone for a while, and there might be something to said about that. Like, there's a specialness that Elex 1 had, and sometimes you can't recreate the specialness. Is all
I
I'm
mean, that's
saying.
very true. That's very true. I mean, I haven't played Elex 2, but if it's basically doing the exact same thing that Elex 1 did, I can see why maybe that didn't have the same appeal because like Elex 1 was like, like you get into it and you're learning it and you're getting to know it and it's like an exploration of what the content is. And then once you kind of get a feel for it, that's great. But then you maybe don't want to do that exact same thing again. So maybe it's a case of that. Maybe it's a case of Elden Ring sucking up people's time. Maybe it's, just really poor release timing. I don't know. I mean, I bet in 6 months I'll be in the mood for it. We'll see.
And it's that mixture of, not to go on too long, but like that mixture of, what I always say, like, I want to play a game that's 60 frames per second now only, or like, the graphics should be a certain way or whatever. And like that thing is just old school, it's still old school, even though it's a second game.
Yeah.
Anywho, not to, hamper it anymore. I still like it. But one more thing I was going to say is Diablo Immortal was a mobile game that was just going to be released on mobile only, but enough people went on the forums and they were like, hey, we are dying for a Diablo game. Can you just port this to PC? Because if you don't, we're just going to figure it out anyhow. So they said yes, which is like kind of incredible because obviously they were probably, created it on a PC anyhow. But so it's easier to kind of do the opposite.
I mean, all you do is like push a button, right? Like you push one button, it goes to mobile, and you push a button, it goes to PC. It's pretty simple.
And there's a button for PS4 and PS5. Yeah.
No excuse for these lazy developers. All you got to do is push that button. Just publish it. Come on, guys.
Well, what I'm saying though is that is true. It's not that easy, but they did obviously create this mobile game on PC, right? Like you don't generally develop just for mobile.
Right, exactly.
So
I was being completely facetious, by the way. Nobody sent me hate mail. That was a complete joke.
Anyways, I'm excited. I actually signed up for the beta because I miss Diablo in my life. And yes, we can all have problems with the company 100%. But when it comes to the game itself, I just want to play something that developers, want to make for me that they enjoy. And Diablo Immortal is coming to PC and mobile. So I just had to tell people that. And it's on June 2nd. So really soon.
Excellent. All right, cool. Any more housekeeping on your side? Because I've only got one thing left. Anything left for you?
I just have one thing I wish to mention. NVIDIA Canvas. It's called NVIDIA Canvas. I posted on Twitter a bunch of pieces of art that I made with it. It's AI that helps you make art. The best one is coming out soon. It's called DALL-E 2, and it's DALL-E2. You have to sign up for like a waiting list because it's like this insanely super advanced AI, and so they're not just giving it to everybody. That thing is nuts, and I don't think I talked about it in this show before, but just anybody go look it up, YouTube Rad, just later. It's crazy what that thing does. Like you would type in, okay, I'll say it real quick. You type in like teddy bears creating teddy bear scientists, and then you just type that in, and then the AI makes a picture.
Oh yeah, I've seen people post pictures done with that thing on Twitter. It's really interesting what it's come up with. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. And in that example, say you do that same thing, but you say no cartoon ones. So then it switches to cartoon. Cartoon ones when the science experiments are food, then it does that, and it just doesn't get it wrong, which is fucking crazy. So the one that's out now that you and I and everybody can use, it's called NVIDIA Canvas, and it's very simple. It just does like scenery pictures, but what you do is on the left side you draw like literally just a line.
Oh, I've actually played with this.
Did
yes,
you?
I did. Somebody recommended it. It was like 6 months ago or whatever. I downloaded it. Yeah, you draw a shape, and it turns it into like an artistic landscape. Yeah.
Look at my pinned messages on my Twitter, ONAWA. I put up 4 that I made, and it's nuts. Like literally took like 3 lines for most of it. And then I made an abstract one and stuff. So
yeah, very cool.
It's super cool. So that's my last thing.
I will say though, we need to stop. We cannot push this forward anymore because I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there was a new robot from Boston Dynamics. It's got wheels and it jumps really high. It can parkour, and it's like, what's wrong with us? We have made so many movies about robots that turn on their human masters, and we are rocketing towards that future.
Yeah,
where we're going to have this artistic AI who thinks that we're not artistic enough as a species. They're going to implant it in this parkour body with wheels, and they're going to come fucking kill us over and over and over. We got to stop. We've got to stop this bullshit. Please stop with the robots. Please stop with the AI. We do not want that future.
That's a funny take to be like, the robot's mad at your artwork. It's like, I don't like how you draw. Look at me. I can draw a teddy bear anytime I want. Your teddy bear looks like shit.
Your aesthetics are bullshit. Yes.
And because of that, you now will die.
Yeah. People, please, let's not do this. If we take nothing else from Terminator, let's not do this, okay?
I'll say one thing that'll make you feel better. The integration of the AI that we're talking about with an actual robotic, they're operating in 2 different worlds. Like Boston Robotics is not even touching AI, believe it or not. You see that thing and it's like doing parkour stuff. It's being controlled. It's very, very simple. there might be limited AI that says like, don't fall over and do these tasks, but to my knowledge, they're not like those two companies aren't mixing. They
I mean,
could, but they're not right now.
all it's going to take is one creative person with a lot of money. It's only, I mean, they're just about 5 seconds away from strapping guns to those dogs that they put out. And so
Oh,
somebody's going to get
geez,
some
that
better
is true.
AI. I mean, it's like, we got to just knock it off. Okay,
All right,
enough of that.
knock it
Enough of that.
off.
Final piece of housekeeping. I just want to take a quick pause and give a quick, I don't know what I want to give. I mean, not a quick. I mean, I guess I just want to say, happy anniversary to my wife. We just recently celebrated our 17th wedding anniversary last week. So my wife Gina and I have been married for 17 years, and it's been
Jeez.
absolutely amazing. It's funny because 17 years is like a long time, but it doesn't feel like a long time at all. Like if you would ask me how long we've been married, I don't even know what I would say, but like it doesn't feel like a long time, and I mean that in the best possible sense, where I just feel like we are together, and I love her so much, and she's the best, and we have such a great relationship that I feel like, I mean, it sounds kind of weird to say, but I feel like we're still kind of getting to know each other, but like in a really positive sense. Like we're still having fun and laughing and being really supportive of each other and everything. And she's great. I mean, the best thing that ever happened to me. So I am really excited and thrilled and ecstatic to be celebrating 17. And I just, couldn't be happier. So I guess happy anniversary to my wife, Gina, for 17 amazing years. Looking forward to 100 more. And I guess that's it. Happy anniversary to her and me.
Well, congratulations, but 100 more?
Oh yeah, absolutely. At least
Oh.
200. We're going to be like those heads,
Oh, the
where it's like a
heads.
head in like a glass dome with like a spider legs robot body,
Yeah.
and we're still going to be like messing around and making jokes and watching shows together and stuff. So
Well, again, I don't understand what the word you used. I don't know a lot of those words you used. Happy, relationship. Did you say stable? If you did, I also don't know
I
that
mean, you
word.
could say stable, sure, throw that in there.
So it's awesome how you described it. So you guys are great for each other. That's awesome. So congratulations to you. I will say this. Speaking of like living for a long time, though, there's a show that I'm watching, Made for Love. I think I talked about it.
Oh yeah, we talked about it last week. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely want to see it.
And there are right now, it's minor spoiler. There's two AIs that represent the two characters in the show, and they're AIs. And now that's how you and her could be together forever. Just have to have your like consciousness uploaded, and then time is an illusion. You can just be there
Yeah,
forever.
that reminds me of Upload. Have you seen Upload?
Yeah, I finished the second season. I love it.
Oh man, I love Upload. Yeah, that's another one too, where you die and then you get uploaded to this like AI, heaven place. Although you got to like pay a bunch of money to stay there, which sucks. But interesting shows, interesting concepts. I'm looking forward to getting uploaded with my wife at some point in the future.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to like paying a couple bucks and getting those washboard abs I've been after all these years.
That's
That'll be nice. Kind of give
true.
myself a little upgrade.
You can upgrade yourself, and you
Yep.
guys will both be made for love.
There we
Oh,
go.
pulls it around.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I got nothing else for housekeeping. Carlos, you good?
Nope, let's do games.
All right, let's move it on to games here on episode 283, The Strange Cast. Carlos, we're going to start with you. You're bringing a game to the show that I had literally no knowledge of whatsoever, which is always weird to me because I feel like all I ever do all day long, every day, is read about games, and yet there's always something I haven't heard of. Leave it to you, my good friend. Tell us about Thymesia, the PC demo.
Yeah, and that happens for you too. Like you come to the show with like, I found this weird thing where you cook food, but also it's a sci-fi simulator and it's an RPG and it's a Souls game.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? So yeah, Elden Ring we talked about. Obviously, I keep going back, and I think I haven't been back for a week now, so I might be finally done for a while. But the weirdness. Talk about Weirdcast. Is that I got into the idea of like being good at Souls games. I don't want to say being good because we hate that term, but like I just found the tricks within Elden Ring, and it was exciting to like play it and destroy. So because I was in that high, I was like, let me try some more Souls games. I tried a few, and this is another one of them. So this is a demo. It's up right now for Steam, and so you can download it and play it, and it looks great. And so what it is a Souls game. I mean, there's a couple things where people, take the same Souls concept, but then they even take that thing when you die, the same lettering,
Yeah.
like you died in the same like red letter with the like kind of black line down the middle. Just make your own. You know, like that bothered me because like many things in the game do that, and it's like, well, that's just being them. You know.
Right. Kind of little too close to the source material there.
Yeah, I think so. In those kind of things, and the general gameplay is a Souls game. I mean, you're like any enemy can hurt you or kill you. Your character is this really interesting. I think we talked about it before. Those like old timey masks that people wear that look
The
like
Plague Doctor
birds.
masks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so like this is a world that has a lot of disease, and you are basically fighting monsters and all sorts of things. But a lot of these enemies have disease as well, and you can steal the disease from them. I don't know what other games do this, but where you take someone's power and then use it against them.
Man, wouldn't you just want to give them some antibiotics instead?
Right. Instead, you're like, no, I'll take that plague from you.
I don't think I want it, sir.
Well, here's the thing: the plague is obviously just an excuse to do another attack, right? That's all it is.
So how does that play out? Like you steal somebody's power and then what does that mean in gameplay terms? Like how does that work out?
So the only way I did it so far, I didn't play a ton of it, is I think it's R2 on the controller, but like you hit a certain button. It's not really about attack damage, although I think it's a little bit. It's about stealing, something from them. And so I stole something from a character. It didn't look like disease. It just was something.
Like energy or something?
Energy, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like I hit the button. There's like one button that you use to dole that back out to the person, dole that back out to the person. So I hit Y or whatever, and like I did a crazy new attack that I never did before. So
And
I
that was
think
only
it's like that.
it was only possible because you had stolen energy from this guy.
Yeah.
So like stealing it enables you to do these extra attacks that otherwise are locked then.
Yeah, exactly. And
Gotcha.
then, although it was only once, and I was like, geez, I feel like I should have it for a little while, like a cooldown. But I was only able to do it once. I have to play more of it, so there might be more of that, but that mechanic is in there. And also, there's a range weapon. So everybody has range weapons, which are these little feathers you can throw, but I found them not helpful at all.
I'm just trying to imagine like me having a handful of like feathers and just like tossing them at people. Yeah, I don't think that's very effective. I don't see how that would work.
And I'm now saying it out loud. It sounds funny because of their feathers, but they go like daggers,
Sure.
Anyways, it's okay. Like my whole overall thing is it's okay. It feels like Souls. I mean, the dodge, which I love dodges. The dodge is good. Feels good. I'd say one little caveat that I realized about Souls games and this game that I think is bullshit, and probably why I've always said bullshit when I played Souls games, is that any enemy, like when they're getting hit, they can also hit you. Like I don't like that mechanic. Like I think that's the core thing I'm upset about when it comes to Souls games, because it happens in Elden Ring too, right? You're hitting this huge bird, and yet it's in a pecking animation. It's going to keep hitting you, even if you hit it.
Yeah, that's really the key, right? And we don't really talk about that, and we haven't really delved into the mechanics very much. But I think that the priority that moves are assigned, and also like I believe in Elden Ring it's called like the poise. I think it is. Maybe is it poise?
Yeah, it's poise,
Maybe
and I
it's
hate
poise.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really like a really super important aspect of the game that they don't really talk about. And if a big creature has a lot of poise, they're going to attack straight through. You can't interrupt them. But if you have a big sword and you're hitting somebody smaller than you, like you will interrupt them because you've got more poise than they do. I mean, it's a cool system when it works, but definitely when it's not right, or if a game doesn't get it right, like what you're describing here, that sucks. That is a big no-no. Like you need to have some kind of way to like interrupt attacks so that like when you play, you can implement your attack strategies. If you're just blindly whacking each other like that, that's no good.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm going to go on record, and this demo remind me of why I don't like it in Souls games. I don't like that at all. Like, I don't even, not one bit. Like, I don't want that poise system. I don't want it. I think that's just silly.
What did you want instead?
Nothing. Regular RPG combat. When you hit someone, they fucking get hit, and then they stagger, and then they'll get back on their feet, and then they'll
so
attack
like
you.
100% poise for every attack.
100%. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's how it should be. And by the way, that's how it is in the real world.
I agree with you. If someone's whacks you in the face with a giant sword, you're probably gonna just pause for like a second at least. Yes,
yeah, you'll be
I
like,
agree.
no, that's okay. Keep hitting me with your knife. I'm gonna go through that attack, and then I'm gonna attack you, because that's how things work.
Yes.
So it's so funny that the demo reminded me of why this little teeny thing in gameplay that was interesting. So yeah, it had it in the very beginning of the game, and so I was like fighting enemies. And your character's like badass. Like I'll say this positive is I like the art. It reminds me of Bloodborne in its darkness and the plague and all that kind of stuff. So it has a Bloodborne feel. It's very fast. It feels very fun when you're doing well, but when you're not doing well, I feel, like it's a cheap move or something. And again, I don't think they're doing enough new things to make me like totally excited. But I thought I'd bring it up because it's another Souls-like game, and I think they're doing some really cool things with the art and stuff. So
That's really the thing, right? Like, I find that a lot of people want to get into the Souls-like genre, but Souls is there, and Souls is kind of at the top of the genre. It kind of reminds me of like Monster Hunter, where Monster Hunter is like it created the hunting genre, just like Souls created the Souls genre. They are currently the best at what they do, and a lot of people want to do that, but they don't have an original spin. They don't have anything really to say about it, so they end up just kind of copying it and like maybe making a copy that's not so good. I don't really want to play any Souls likes unless they have something else to say or if they've got a new idea. And a couple of them do, not many of them. And a lot of times just playing an inferior copy, just like with the hunting games. I'm trying to think of another hunting game that's anywhere near as good as Monster Hunter, and I can't think of even one. So, if you don't have something really to say, like I would say, just don't even try, man.
I would say, and to kind of piggyback off that, I think that they are doing things that are like, remember we talked about Bloodborne. Nowadays, the graphics are, in my opinion, unwatchable. It's
Pretty
difficult.
rough.
And so this is a modern game and it's doing that aesthetic, but you can make out the graphics. So that's cool. And again, I like the art aesthetic. I like some of the characters and I like the idea of a Plague stuff. You like Plague's Tale. I like that,
Sure.
the kind of dark world that they can create. I got frustrated by the going back to Souls combat. I was like, too soon, probably too soon.
Too soon. Okay. Well, that is Thymesia, currently a PC demo, and I would have to imagine they probably have their sights set on console at some point.
I would imagine it's got to be. And but yeah, I just wanted to bring it to the show because it's a demo, so go try it.
Go check it out. All right, cool. Let me talk for a minute about a couple games here. First one is called P3, letter P, number 3. Playing this on the Switch. It is a kind of a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up where you play like a little spaceship. I'm playing it on the Switch, and it's got a really amazing aesthetic. That's really what caught my attention. It's kind of like a black and whitish, kind of low, like chunky pixel, kind of rough looking, but like all intentional. Like I think it's extremely stylish. It reminds me a lot of Downwell. Did you ever play Downwell,
I
Carlos?
did. It does remind me of that. I'm seeing the pictures. It also reminds me of an arcade game.
Yeah, it looks like an old school arcade game. It reminds me a lot of Downwell, which I think is brilliant. So that's what really caught my attention. I was like, okay, I want to check this out, see what this is all about. So you're a vertical scrolling shooter. Ship is at the bottom of a narrow screen. Bad guys come at you from the top. And the gimmick to this game, well, there's a couple gimmicks. The first one is that you only shoot when you're moving. So if you are holding still, you are not shooting. There's no way to shoot. You have to shoot by either moving left or right. And when you are moving, that's when you shoot automatically. So that is already kind of a challenge. You can hold down left and right together, and you will hold still, and it'll shoot like a super beam. But then you're immobilized and you can't move because you're planted where you are. So that is also another challenge. To use your most powerful gun, you're kind of a sitting duck. So that's a very unconventional control scheme, which already has a lot of challenges built into it, as I'm sure any shooter fan can probably imagine. And as you go through the game, there's different levels. I mean, obviously, they start off with a big boss, then there's a couple different, patterns of enemies that come at you and stuff. It seems like it's all kind of par for the course, except when you get far enough, you get like these roguelike choices of, okay, you got to the next level. Would you like this laser that has to charge up first, or would you like this gun with bouncy bullets, or would you like one more section on your health bar? So I think that's pretty interesting, and so you have to make your choices as you go forward. On paper, you would think this would be totally my jam, but ultimately, I feel like it's really, 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 really difficult. I did not make it very far, and I got frustrated really quickly with this one. I think the control system is just maybe a little bit too unconventional. I don't quite think it works in a way that my brain was able to wrap itself around. And you die so often, and when you get back to the start, like you just lose everything. Like it's a cold restart. I believe you can start from the most recent checkpoint if you want, but by that point, I mean, I don't know. It's like, maybe I just start over? Like maybe I'm just not doing so well. It just was really difficult, a very tough uphill climb. So despite the fact that I thought the graphics were fucking awesome and I love just the vibe of it, I did not play it for I think I probably put in like an hour, and I was like, okay, I'm just frustrated. I don't want to play this anymore. So it was a little bit too tough for me, a little bit maybe too outside of the lines. But a cool attempt. And I appreciate when people do new things, but this one sadly was a miss for me.
And Pocket Gamer said it was beautiful but hard as nails.
It's really fucking hard. It's really hard, and I just, after getting done with Elden Ring, I just don't feel like
Yeah.
I really want to work that hard at anything right now. So maybe
Well,
just poor timing.
same thing with Thymesia. I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to die a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. So that was P3. One more to talk about quickly here. It's called Wildcat Gun Machine. This is a top-down twin stick shooter. Playing this on the Xbox, you are a woman who has a gun, and she is
A
in a.
wildcat?
No, she's not.
Oh,
She's in a place, and I try to. I don't even know where you are, in a space station or something, in a future level. I honestly can't even remember. It was. It just was like a bunch of generic hallways, is what it was. So she's in this place, and you shoot a lot of really generic enemies that kind of just come straight at you. You have one basic pistol, which is infinite, and it is obviously not great, just like a pea shooter. And then you pick up other bonus guns as you go through, and those all have limited ammo because they're much more powerful. This is a real basic formula, super basic formula. The levels are not randomly generated, although it looks like they are because there's not really anything to them. You're just running down hallways, shooting these guys who come at you over and over and over and over and over, and you're not really picking up new guns at a very fast clip to make it interesting enough to have variety in the gunplay. I found it was a pretty long distance between guns, like way too long for my taste. Other than that, you're picking up keys and like backtracking and unlocking doors. You're picking up armor to take a couple more hits. I mean, like there's not like a lot to it. The graphics I really didn't click with. I don't even know how to even describe the graphics. They kind of remind me of like Flash graphics where you're looking at a flat picture of something and it's animated in such a way where it's like there's one joint at the shoulders and one joint at the hips and the arms and legs kind of move like little cutout paper dolls, you know what I mean?
it's
Is that
kind of
making
like
sense at all?
Castle Crashers.
Yeah, a little bit like that. I,
And also Nobody Saves the World, although we love that art. That was, I think, better.
yeah, that definitely had more of a style to it. This one, Wildcat Gun Machine, feels just very basic and generic. There's not really. I mean, it kind of looks like they're doing like a low rent version of Doom in a way, where like all the enemies are kind of demonic vaguely.
Mm.
Your person is just kind of just real basic and generic. The only other twist to this is that if you, I don't, it's like I guess kill a certain number of enemies or something, you power up a meter, and then for a minute, I guess you turn into the gun machine where you get like armor and you have infinite bullets for like I don't know 20 seconds or something to like get you out of a panic. But it takes a really long time to build that up. And I got to the boss, and the boss was just like an absolute bullet sponge. Like I was like, oh my god, this is like
Mm.
taking forever, and I was already not into the game that much to begin with. I mean, real talk, dude, this is the kind of game where I'm like, and not to be mean, not to be rude or insulting, but it's like, why did you make this? Like, what was your thesis in making this?
Not to
Right?
be rude or excited, but why did you actually make a
Well,
game?
I mean, okay, so like let just for a minute, like the simple fact of making a game is very difficult, right? And just like writing a book or making a song or making a movie, doing those things is really difficult. And I think that you have to make those things to teach yourself how to do them. You need the experience of producing something, of going through the process. That's all amazing. But there is so much competition out there today. No matter what you're in, movies, TV, books, music, there's so much competition that if you don't have something that's dynamite, if you're
Hmm.
just making a thing, I don't know that that's really enough reason to like release it unless it's got a hook or some kind. And I fail to see what the hook here is. It is just, twin stick top down shooter 1.0. Like I just don't see why I'm playing it.
Mm. It
So,
seemed like in the trailer I like the trailer where they show the cat, like an
yeah,
actual real cat,
yeah.
and I saw a screenshot. It showed like something that you win is like a cat related. So I'm not. I'm wondering how the cats come into play.
There was a cat in the game. It was like I think it was like a save point or something. I mean, whatever. It was just window dressing. Like it wasn't anything really integral, and I almost think they're using cats just as the hook because
Right.
people like cats, which is not a great way to put out your game. So, I mean, not to be cold and brutal or anything, but like with so much competition out there, like you got to really have a cool idea. And I just don't see what the idea here is. It is just top down twin stick shooter, period, and that's just not enough these days. So I played it for I don't know hour and a half, and I'm like, okay, I got it, I'm good, and I don't need to put any more time into it. So
All right.
Wildcat Gun Machine. There you go. Carlos, over to you for a game that I'm actually very interested in. We talked about it earlier in a preview sense. I believe the game is out now, and I'm seeing a lot of people in my timeline talking about it in pretty positive sense. Trek to Yomi. This is the black and whitish sort of samurai themed game where you actually surprised me by describing mechanics that I had no idea were in the game. So now
Hmm.
that you've put more time into it, I would love to hear all about it.
Yeah, it is super cool. Now we can talk about it. I think it's going to Game Pass today or soon.
Oh, really? I didn't realize it was coming to Game
I think it's
Pass.
going to Game Pass. Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't quote me on that. I think it might already be up there. So go check for that. And by the way, for you, yeah, it's a highly recommend for me already.
Okay, cool.
The preview, I couldn't really say too much. Obviously, I said I liked it in some sense, but this is a phenomenal game. And so I've seen a couple mixed reviews, and I think a lot of the only negative stuff, to get that out of the way first, is that it's short. But you and I both know we love a short experience.
That is not a negative to me. No
Not
way, no how.
neither of us. And so with the amount of games we look at or play, or just the amount of time we have in our life, this is a beautiful thing. I think it's a work of art, and it's over. I didn't finish it, but I'm again probably pretty close to the ending. I think it's about 5 hours of a game. So yeah, that's great for me.
I mean, that's perfect, dude. A 5-hour game, if it gets in, gets out, says what it wants to say, that's beautiful.
It moves so quickly, and I'll tell you a little bit about that story with minor spoilers, just to kind of get people into it, because I think everybody should play this. But also, Flying Wild Hog is the developers. I'm not sure what they did before. I was always going to look that up.
Let me look it up, because I know
Oh,
that
Shadow
name. Let me look it
Warrior.
up. Shadow. Oh, yeah, that's right up your alley.
I know. Again, Shadow Warrior 1 and 2. I didn't like 3 as much, but and they worked on Evil West, which I don't think I've played. Anyways, this is a black and white, like you said. Now, most of the time, 2D side scroller, but when you're doing combat. But when you're not doing combat, you basically can look at this game through many different angles. A YouTube video that I always watch called Skill Up, his channel, he described this game as looking through scenes in a Viewmaster.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was a very eloquent way to put it, because basically this game creates these little moments, and so at times you're going 2D left to right to fight other people, like samurais, and then every once in a while, like I told you last episode, you put away your sword and you go to the next screen, and it could be like Silent Hill or those old school games where it's fixed camera, and you're kind of just like moving across the screen,
Right.
but the screen and all the angles are totally different each time. Like, and they're all artful and masterful and beautiful. And there's stuff in the foreground, like blurred out. And one of them times you're controlling your character and you're just like looking through a window. It's almost like you're like the character, an NPC, like watching the action. So like every little scene is masterfully done. I mean, it could be the simplest thing of like walking over to a cart, but it's like a different totally angle, like a 3/4 angle. And like there's fog rolling in, and you have to go really, really far away from the screen, and then it switches angles, and now you're in the next screen. It's hard to explain without just seeing it, but it's all these little vignettes. And so when you're not doing combat, like I said, you're just exploring, and it's limited. You're talking to some characters, and you're getting collectibles, and you're upgrading yourself, like getting more stamina, getting more health. And that kind of happens all along the way. But to our earlier point, it doesn't overstay its welcome, because it starts off when you're a little kid. It very quickly, I think in an hour or less, moves on to when you're grown up.
Okay.
And then you kind of like get flashbacks of when you're a kid. And it's just doing all this like seamlessly. And it's everything has urgency. Like won't spoil the story, but there's always like problems, and the character's always running to go do something. But you're just doing it quickly. You're going around the corner. You're picking up a new, stamina boost. You're going around the corner, picking up a health boost, and you're getting better, and you're like seeing more of the world. And then the minor spoiler is, there's some supernatural elements.
Okay.
And I didn't know that going in, and I think it's good that people know that, because it's not just like fighting other samurais.
It's not just a straight up samurai game. There's a
No,
little bit more to it.
it takes a real fun switch all of a sudden, and you're like, what's happening now? And that was like an extra piece to love this game for. So I can't recommend this enough. It's a perfect little experience. I love that it's short. The combat, by the way, is a little basic. I mean, there's like combos. You can block. There's a strong attack, a weak attack. There's, like I said, there's combos. There's a bow and arrow, and there's some throwing knives. But in general, it's a pretty simple combat system. And there's bosses too. So there are definitely bosses. And there's shrines that like give your health back, when you're low. I love this game. Great checkpoint system. amazing art aesthetic. Like one of my favorites. I can't explain how good it looks. It's made for black and white, or they call it grayscale, and you can just tell like there's silhouette moments. There's moments of the characters running by, those like screens. You can
Yeah.
just see your silhouette of you,
Yeah.
and you're still controlling the character. You're fighting behind the screen now. So where Ghost of Tsushima added a black and white mode, this is the game that was built for black and
Like
white.
it was meant for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
This is a beautiful, beautiful game.
Man, that's amazing. Okay, cool. So I was, like I said, I was seeing lots of people speak very highly, but I haven't seen very much criticism at all. And I know, you were kind of into it last week or whenever it was we talked about it, and it seems like you're totally into it. So I'm gonna have to add this to my list. It sounds like a winner.
Especially if a Game Pass, then you can just load it up there.
Double winner.
Double winner. And I'll say this last thing is the sound design's amazing too. Like truly, if you put the headphones on, which you really have to, not just sound effects, but like a lot of the story is there's people are crying because a lot of negative stuff is happening. People are dying, and it's like there's a lot of crying, but it's just so realistic. Like the people's voices, it's all in Japanese, right? So like it's subtitled, but everything is just like done so well, like raindrops and weird creepy sounds and bells in the distance. It just feels like you're there. Like the sound is another part of why this game is so good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. 9 or 10 out of 10. Like it's just really, really awesome.
Dang. Okay. Well, this sounds like an absolute winner. I'm gonna have to add this to my list for sure. This is Trek to Yomi, possibly on Game Pass, but I believe it's out on every console and on PC right now. I'm pretty sure you can get it anywhere, I think. So check it out. Sounds like a real good time.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right, back to me here. Couple words on a game called Adios Amigos, and Adios is spelled ADIOS, all in caps because it stands for something. I don't remember what it stands for.
Good.
This is the most.
Goodbye. What do you mean?
No. Like each letter, like ADIOS. Each
Okay.
one stands. It's like a
Yeah.
But it's what do you call that when you have that thing? Where
Acronym.
you have-
Acronym.
Acronym. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, thank you. So Adios Amigos, it's an acronym for something. This is the most recent version of a game that's actually been out for a while. I played the original version of this, I want to say 2-3 years ago. And I feel like it just pops up every now and again, like the developers keep trying to get it out there. It's a neat little game where you play a space, I don't know, person, astronaut of some kind, and you have a little ship with you. You are trying to get back home. You're like lost in space, and so your ship has fuel and it's also got health. You yourself have health and also like a little energy thing, and you get into these little 2D galaxies where like you can see the galaxy map. It'll be like a sun with like 3 or 4 planets orbiting, and you can see like the little circle orbit of the planet. And it uses physics. So like, you jet forward in your little ship and you've got inertia. You've got to like figure out, well, if I jet this much, it'll push me past the planet, but I got to like come back, and like where's the gravity well? Like you're always fiddling with like the gravity, trying to get to where you're going with like spacey physics. But it ends up being a 2D game where when you get close to a planet, you got to get out of your ship. You can jump. You've got a tiny little jetpack, and you collect 2 things. Number 1, more fuel and energy for your ship and for yourself. And number 2, you're collecting like data. Once you have enough data by touching weird objects or lost technology or aliens or something, you collect enough of those. It opens up a warp to go to the next galaxy. So basically, you get into a galaxy, you're dealing with the physics, jumping around on planets. You got to get enough energy to keep going, and you have to find enough data to open up the next warp. And ultimately, I think you want to do like 8 galaxy jumps, and then I think you're home free. I have never made it that far. But I think it's a cute game. I think it's kind of fun. And right now with Adios Amigos in this most recent version, they have added like a whole multiplayer aspect where I think 4 people together can work to collect items and collect energy and to kind of support each other in this game. I think overall it's a cool game, but I will say I really, really, really don't care for the aesthetics of this game at all. I wish it looked different than it does. It looks very low rent. And it's almost like all the graphics are kind of placeholders. And I don't mean that to be insulting, but I gotta just be honest. Like, it doesn't look great. Screenshots are, not very attractive. And playing the game is it's not a lot to look at, and it's not very exciting to look at. So I don't care for the graphics very much. And I do feel like Honestly, I feel like it's pretty hard. I wish it was a little bit easier, or if there was more difficulty settings or something, because I played it a couple times. I played it with my son a couple times, and we usually get, I think the furthest we've ever made it is like halfway. I think we've made it about 4 jumps in out of 8, and we just like run out of energy, run out of life, and like we're just not doing very well. And I just feel like it's very tough. So I feel like maybe the developers, um, I don't know what kind of testing they've done, but I feel like this is one of those games where the developers are really, really good at their own game and they have tuned it to be good for themselves. Whereas people like us who are just coming to it for the first time or maybe haven't played it for a long time, I'm just not good at it, bro. Like I'm just not that good, and I don't know that I want to work that hard to get good at it. I want to kind of have fun, especially for a multiplayer game. You want to just goof with your friends
Yeah.
and just have some laughs and stuff. I feel like they could definitely ease back on the difficulty and just let us goof more. Not enough goofing going on. So it's an okay game. I like the concept of it, and I like the approach of trying to get to the center of the galaxy or whatever. But it's just kind of hard, and it kind of sucks some of the fun out of it. And I feel like this game should be more fun than it is.
It almost looks like the graphics are kind of like claymation, but they're not, which is really weird.
Yeah, it just doesn't look great. I just wish they would make it look a lot better, look sharper. I mean, video games, video, it's right there in the title, and I do really feel like art really plays a big role in keeping people's attention and getting them hooked and feeling connected. And it's just like it just doesn't look great. And I just for as hard as it is, and it doesn't look that great. And if you're not having fun with your friends, and I don't know, I feel like it misses the mark a little bit. But I feel like the core of it is really good. Just a couple tweaks, and I feel like it could get somewhere.
And
Um,
to be forever
yeah,
optimist like I am, art is subjective though, because like there's definitely been times where you like are like that art is garbage, and I was like I like it.
very true,
So
very true.
but
I
I
mean.
also don't like this art. So I agree with you on this game specifically.
All right, so that's Adios Amigos. Let's talk about a game that you actually brought to this show like a while ago, like maybe last year. I don't know if you even remember it, Carlos, but you brought to the show Rogue Lords on PC. Do you remember this game?
I do. It's on Game Pass, isn't it?
I believe maybe it's on Game Pass. I'm
I
playing it
feel
on
like
Xbox.
I saw it show up somewhere. Maybe it was PS5, but
I mean, it is on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's also on Switch. So now is the console release of
ah,
Rogue Lords, which spent quite a while in early access, and then it was released full version 1.0 to PC. I believe it was last year. I feel like it was a while ago, like at least 6 months or maybe even a year ago.
I'm looking it up.
Um,
I'm looking it up.
yeah, so this is a deck builder roguelike where you play as the devil himself, and your characters are famous, I don't know, like monsters from history. Like you start off with Dracula, the Headless Horseman, and Bloody Mary, and the very next character you unlock is like the Lady in White. So they use famous like literary monster characters or just well-known monster characters as your team. Each one has different abilities. Dracula, of course, has like life-sucking abilities. The Headless Horseman is like a really tough kind of tanky character, has big hits. Bloody Mary has a lot of bleed effects, as you might guess. So you put together a team of characters, unlock them as you go, and it's a roguelike. So you do your best to make through a run. Structurally, it's very similar to something like Slay the Spire, and it's funny because Slay the Spire is a great game, and I love it, and I think it's really really good. Ultimately, it was a wonderful game, but it's been so influential in terms of deck builders and any roguelike deck builder that's come after it. I never would have expected it, but like literally every game that's been put out since Slay the Spire has taken something from Slay the Spire, and I feel like this game takes a pretty fair amount from Slay the Spire, but in a good way. Um, you go through these maps. You can choose which path you want to go. Sometimes there's a battle, sometimes there's an item, sometimes it's a heal, sometimes it's a question mark. That could be anything, etc., etc. You get the idea. When you get to these fights, I think they're pretty well done. Number one, I think the art. Speaking of art, as we have so much in the show, I think the art is really great in this game. It's really polished.
Yeah.
It almost looks like 2D hand drawn art, but it's actually 3D models, which is really attractive. Like the animation comes through, it looks real sharp. It's got kind of a black and white ish look to it. Most of the characters don't have a lot of color, but I think it really works in their favor. Like it's very striking.
Well, there's a lot of
Um,
red too.
there is a lot of
Yeah.
red, but black and white and red I think is a good combo. It looks good. And the combat system is really interesting, where you have, I think, like 6 energy points per round, and you can divide those up between any amount of characters that you want in any way. And so, like, one character will attack for 2 points, one will attack for one will defend for two. As long as you've got ultimately spending 6 points per round, you can do whatever attacks or defense that you want, whatever spells. You collect items along the way, artifacts that can like change things. You also have story challenges where you'll happen across a villager and he needs help. And do you help him or do you kill him? Or you'll come across a merchant, and the merchant's got an artifact that he doesn't realize what the value of it is. Do you trick him, or are you honest with him? Or do you just kill him? So you have a lot of story challenges that will buff your character in certain ways.
I remember liking them, by the way. I mentioned that in my first review.
Yeah.
Because it like really broke up apart like this thing that you said we've seen before. And I feel like those kind of little story elements helped a lot.
Yeah, I love the story elements. I think that's really great. I think the combat is really well done. The only one thing that I will say that I find question mark about the combat, I feel like maybe I don't like it, but also I fully admit that maybe I don't fully understand the impact of it. When you're going through the battles, you can use, like, so let's say for example, Dracula has 5 attacks. He's got 2 scratch attacks, he's got a bat attack, he's got a scream attack or whatever. When you use those, they are inactive once you use them, and you have to like spend points to reactivate them. So I guess honestly, I'm not really sure what the value of that is, because it doesn't seem like your enemies have to re-energize their attacks. It seems like they're just attacking. So I guess I'm not sure why my characters have to reactivate their attacks. Like once Dracula has done his 5 attacks, he can't do anything. So you have to like take a turn to like recharge him, which uses some of your energy. So it's not like you can recharge Dracula while somebody else attacks. Like you have to take that energy that would have otherwise been an attack and recharge Dracula so that he attacks next time.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure why they do that. And I've only done maybe 3 or 4 runs. I haven't beaten the game yet at all. So I guess I'm still trying to figure out like what is the value of that? Is it because the characters are too strong? Is there some kind of pacing thing that I'm not picking up on? I guess I'm not sure.
And a question for that: isn't this the game where you also have to like divvy up your action points with all the people? Like they don't have their own action points, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got 6 for like your whole team.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that part of it.
I don't mind that part so
Really?
much, but I am questioning why I have to recharge my attacks. That's the one thing where I'm like, well, I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep putting some time into it, but like I like the combat so far. I think it's really well done. It also takes another cue. One of the best things that Slay the Spire ever did for the industry, and I hope everybody in the world copies this, is that they just keep the tooltips available, because you can't remember every symbol, every icon, every little status effect. Like it's hard to remember all that stuff, especially if you're not playing this game 24/7. So if you just mouse over one of these items, it just tells you, oh yeah, this status does +2 attack, or this status will make you lose a point or something. Like I love that it does that. Slay the Spire did that perfectly, and every game since then that copies it, good on you, because having those tooltips available, so helpful. Do not make me like go into a screen. Don't make me look it up on a wiki. Just tell me what the fuck they do. So I appreciate that. Overall, I think this game is great. I'm really actually having quite a lot of fun with it. I love the art style. I love the combat system. There is a persistence system where even if you lose, you earn experience that goes towards unlocking permanence. Just unlock the first character, and then I'm unlocking a permanent power for her the next time. So even if you lose, and you're going to lose, you still feel like, okay, well, I got something done. I got one step closer to, being a little bit more powerful. So I appreciate that very much. And of course, the one thing that I didn't mention is like the game's big hook is that since you are the devil, and maybe you'll remember this, Carlos.
I was just going to say this. You forgot the main part that I like.
I know, right? Yeah. Like to me, that's not even the main part. And honestly, I don't even really like that part that much. Since you play the devil, you have devil power, and what that means is like you can basically cheat. So you start with a limited number of it's like 100 devil points or something. And let's say that Dracula does his attack. He runs out of energy. He can't attack anymore, but you're like, damn it, if I could only attack one more time, I could win this match. You click a button that puts you into devil mode, where Satan makes his power felt in the real world, and he just like recharges your ability. And it costs a couple points. If you get down to 0, you lose. But so like you can do that. You can like recharge your abilities. You can take life away from enemies. Like if there's this guy who's just like a tank and he's got way too much HP, click into devil mode. You move the devil's hand over to that guy's life bar, and you can like scratch some life off of him and make him weaker.
Yeah.
Or you can affect different things. I'm having a little bit of a struggle with it right now. I know the basics of it, but like there's a couple devil abilities where I'm like, they showed it to me in the tutorial and I don't remember how to do it. And I'm like, what combination of buttons does this? I'm still trying to figure it out. I may have to do the tutorial again. But it's an interesting sort of a thing. I don't know that I care for it because I feel like it's maybe one system too much. Like one person I was talking to put it this way. They said, if the devil power was just purely a bonus, that would be fine, because then you could like use it to make it easier for yourself. But they felt like the game actually requires you to use the devil power. as one more resource to manage, and they didn't like that because it felt like it was like one extra complication on a game that already is complicated enough.
Yeah.
So I feel like I kind of agree. I don't think I feel like the Devil Power is a pure bonus. I feel like you do have to manage it, which I mean, okay, that's fair. They're upfront with it. They let you know about it. They teach you about it. Spend a lot of time in the tutorial about it. So I'm still kind of coming to grips with like all the nuances of this game. But like so far, early impressions are very favorable. Love the art. I really like the art style. I appreciate that there is some progression, but it's also kind of a roguelike, so each run feels a bit fresh. New characters to look forward to. I think I've got like maybe like 6 more characters to unlock, which I'm excited about. So, so far after 4 or 5 runs, I feel like it's a thumbs up. I feel like it's pretty good.
Well, good. Yeah, I mean that matches my earlier review. I remember liking it, and I said the story bits and the devil bits, even if they're a little confusing, it's still like adding something different and kind of it's what's it called, fourth wall breaking.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just gonna literally take my cursor and just take away this guy's health, or like take the stuff he has and put it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's fun enough. I really like the story bits a lot. I really do like that mixed together with the combat, and the art
It's
style's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd put it like a solid 7 or something. I had a really good time with it. I just don't. There are some things that are a little overcomplicated, I think.
Yeah, I agree. First impressions are still good, but I'm gonna see how it plays out. I'm definitely gonna put some more time into it. But so far, I like what it's doing, and I appreciate that they've got some new spins on the formula here. So that is Rogue Lords. It's on PC. It's also on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, and I believe it is out now. Okay, back to you, Carlos. You surprised me with this one. This is a show full of surprises. A couple of games I didn't realize, and you've been dropping numbers. You've been scoring games this show, which you don't usually do. So
I guess I
nice
have.
surprise
It's
as
a
well.
surprise cast.
It's the number cast. The
Weirdcast.
strange number cast, yeah. Tales of Zestiria. I was like, wow, where'd this come from? I wasn't expecting you to bring this to the show. So tell us all about how you came to play Tales of Zestiria right here and right now.
Well, as you all know who listen to the podcast, I love Tales of Arise, the latest in the Tales series. Beautiful, amazing, epic. It's one of my favorite RPGs. I think I said that in the show. It was in our top 10 list or whatever,
You were a big fan, I remember.
Yeah. So I love that game for a lot of things it does. Now, I didn't play a lot of the Tales games back in the day. I played some, but I just looked this up on YouTube, and the YouTube guy is called David Vinc. He rated all of them. You know how they do that? Like, worst to best.
Oh, sure. Well, ranked list. Sure.
Rank list. I love those. I'm a sucker for them. There's 19 of them.
Jesus.
Now, to be fair, there's like 5 of those are like mobile, just DS or PSP or, not main consoles or something.
Okay.
I mean, I guess people are going to say that's a main console, but a lot of portables, versions of the game.
Small scale versions, not like big box games. Sure.
Yeah. But there's plenty of other ones. And so, yeah, I played some of them. And because I had so much fun with Tales and I was like so tired of Elden Ring and tired of dying a bunch. And although nowadays I don't die at all because I'm fucking badass. Level 238.
Humble brag.
Come for me, enemies.
Hashtag what's up?
Hashtag sometimes 2,000-3,000 damage each time I hit someone. Anyways, that's a straight brag. Yeah, so I wanted to go back to an old school JRPG. I love Tales of Rise, and I was like, let me find a Tales game. So I just started typing in Tales on my PlayStation, and it was on an Uber sale, this specific one, Tales of Zestiria, and it was like $5.99. And it's
wow, that is dirt cheap.
Yeah, it's like a $50 game or something, It was like weirdly cheap.
Wow, okay.
Might have been $10. I don't know. It was either 5 or 10. And I was like, well, of course. So I get it, and I learned that Tales of Berseria, there's a lot of areas in this series.
And Tales, yes, Tales of, and then
Tales of, yeah, and something
or whatever at the end.
But Tales of Berseria I bought, and I have it in my library, and I never beat it, but I did really enjoy it. I don't know, I just dropped off because of reasons. But that game takes place 1,000 years before Tales of Zestiria, the one I just bought.
Are these all in the same timeline? I thought they were kind of like separate.
Right.
They
are all separate, like Final Fantasy. Well, some Final Fantasies.
Sort of.
But Berseria and Zestiria are the only ones that are related, like the mainly related.
Okay.
So it's just funny that I randomly picked that one that was on sale because that's the one that I bought the version of the game before it. So long story short, I was like looking to the internet, which one should I play first? And, it goes back and forth, but they said that Zestiria was made first, like game-wise, right? So that a lot of kind of mechanics and stuff were like, that's the first time you experience in them. And then you play Berseria. Yes, it takes place before in the timeline, but it's just a kind of all of those systems improved, right? Just like Tales
Gotcha.
of Arise is probably, I think, the best version of it still. So, long story short, I was like, okay, I'm going to play this Zestiria and then go back and play Berseria. And that's kind of a lot of hours, like I said, not shying away from an epic game. And I'll say that, yeah, Zestiria, there's a little bit of age on it, but it's it's similar to Arise, where it's like an action RPG, but then when you get there, you have NPCs who are doing their own jobs, and you set them up to what they should be doing. And then when you attack, you can do a lot of that kind of semi-auto attacking,
Hmm.
which was also in Arise. And I usually turn it to manual, but it's kind of nice sometimes when you're doing 8 million battles,
Right. Yeah.
and you just go like, okay, I'm going to make it semi-auto. And semi-auto in Zestiria, and it might have been when they first introduced this concept, is it like it chooses the attacks for you, and you're just like hitting a button.
Right.
And then you can like hit this L2 button and you can move around freely. So you don't have to like, it's not just automatically running for you too. You can kind of like position yourself. So it's almost like a strategy game in that way. You're like moving to a place and then letting it kind of attack.
Right.
So I really enjoyed that system. I think, was it Final Fantasy 13 did something like that?
Yeah, I think
I
think you're
believe.
correct. I think
Yeah.
you are correct. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, like, hey, we're going to give orders to things, and sometimes it can not work out, but for some reason it works really well in this. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's old school JRPG. It's, I think the main thing I wanted to bring it to the show for is with Tales of Arise. I think I mentioned this, and I'll mention it with Zestiria, and it's probably with Berseria as well. There's a few of these in the series where they really talk about racism
Yeah.
and societal woes and darkness within man and woman, like just kind of when people get awful, this is what happens. And I really like that they really jump into that. Like a JRPG, you're like, oh no, it's just be a talking cat and like you ride a dragon or something. But it's really, these games are really about humanity. Now watch, this is my real quick example of that in this game, okay?
Hmm.
And the reason why I'm going to keep playing it, because it's not just about doing these action battles, but like, so there's darkness in this world too, malevolence is what that's called. And they go to a town, and this one character you play as, you kind of a hybrid of uh not god or goddess, but like you have other kind of powers than a regular human. So you can see evil, essentially. You can see this malevolence. So
Okay.
you go to a town, and people are like being shitty all over the place. Like there's this little kid, and he's like, "Fuck you, old man," and he just steals something from him, and he leaves. And you're like, "What the fuck have I walked into?" And then you walk over to these other people. These guys are like just fighting each other, and they're like, "You get out of here! This is my thing," just like evil. And you're like, "Fuck." And so your character can see that those people are monsters. Like
Like
actual
actual
monsters. Yeah,
monsters.
yeah, yeah. Like the
Okay.
Malevolence has changed them into this thing called a Hellion. And so you can't just like beat up a little kid. You know what I mean? Like you want to just like kill that fucking monster. But if you walked in the middle of the street and just killed the kid, that'd be bad.
So wait, are they possessed, or like it is actually a monster that is disguised as a human?
It's the humans turned into a Hellion, and then the disguise is the rest of the people can't see how bad the person's got.
So if you kill them, does it revert them to being a good human, or is it just like they're already a monster? You
Oh
gotta
no
just
no
kill the
no! If you
monster?
kill them, you kill them. That's
Okay. Okay.
they've changed. I don't know if
Got you.
I haven't got far enough in the game if they're going to do the thing where like you can change them back. But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird, and you go into this town and you see these people acting awful, and it's again a beautiful metaphor. It's like they've changed. They become the full of malevolence. It's hard to get them back. A lot of stuff could be said about that. People in this country with like conservatism and just kind of all the kind of politics and stuff like that.
I'm
And
sensing metaphor here.
it's tons of metaphor, and it's beautiful. And Arise did it too. Arise did it where a whole town was full of this negativity, and they literally turned into ooze. They died. By the way, it wasn't like they came back, and it's because of the negativity in a human. So I'm bringing this to the show because I don't think people talk enough about what these games are about. Yeah, it's fucking great. Like they really get into some heavy shit with a layer of JRPG. So
Excellent.
I'm
Excellent.
gonna finish Zestiria and then I'm gonna go right to Berseria. And then I'll feel like I've kind of then I have to go to Tales of Vesperia, which
Oh my
is
goodness.
considered the best one in the whole series.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's me for the next, I don't know, months and months. I'm gonna
I was gonna
be
say the next 9 months you're gonna be doing the Tales
I
series.
really am, and there's not a lot of epic games coming out for a while anyhow, so that's
All
me.
right, that is Tales of Zestiria. And you're playing on what? PlayStation?
PlayStation, yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, one more game to talk about, and then we're gonna wrap the show. This one, very surprising to me. Came out of nowhere. I didn't know anything about it. I got an email from PR, and it was just this random cold call email. They're like, "Hey, would you like to check this out?" And I'm looking at this game. I'm not sure what to make of it. It's called Ravenous Devils. Have you seen it, Carlos?
I haven't, but I'm typing it in.
So I didn't know anything about this. I was not familiar with the developer. Was not familiar. I'd heard of the publisher, but I didn't know anything about this. It just popped up out of nowhere. It's on Xbox. I believe it's on PlayStation. I think it's on Switch. It's
I
on
know.
PC.
I know this. And
So
I actually thought of your name. I don't know why, but for some reason I looked at it and I heard the subject of what this game is and I said, Brad.
man, yes. So Ravenous Devils. This is basically Sweeney Todd, the video game. Are you familiar with Sweeney Todd, Carlos?
Yes, but there's an added thing that you need to tell them. That's the main thing.
There's an added thing. What is the added thing?
It's about cooking.
Well, I mean, yeah, so yeah, sort of.
Okay.
So basically, in this game, Ravenous Devils, it's definitely like a very overt nod to Sweeney Todd. So if you're not familiar with that, go ahead, Google it, check it out. But basically, in this game, you play a husband and a wife. You are coming to this new town to set up business. You just have fled the last town that you lived in. You've changed your names, resumed new identities, bought this new building, and you're going to set up shop here. The husband is a tailor. The wife is a chef, and the building that they have is a 4-floor building in like old, kind of like oldie England. Like I don't even know, like way back in the where I don't even know what time period this is. I'm not an expert on English history, but like when there's carriages and stuff, and when there's like lords and ladies and people dressed fancy and all that kind of stuff.
A lot of fog. A lot of fog.
A lot of fog. A lot of fog. A lot of fog in England. Exactly so. So basically, in this building, it's kind of like ant farm view where you have a side view. There's a top floor where there's like an atrium. There's a second floor with a tailor shop. The ground floor is the restaurant, and the basement is the kitchen. So what happens is you set up shop. The wife handles cooking. The guy does the tailoring. But as you know, if you know Sweeney Todd, this is all about murder and cannibalism. So what happens is it's kind of like a little sim game where people come into the tailor shop. The tailor meets them in the back room. He takes their measurements, and then he just like stabs the fuck out of them with his scissors and just kills them. And then he takes their bodies. He throws them in this little trap door. The bodies clunk all the way down to the basement where the kitchen is, and the wife is there. And she takes the bodies, hacks them up into like bits and bobs, hamburgers, lasagna, pasta, pies, whatever. And she makes all these kind of foods with human meat, and then she sends them up to the main floor to be sold. So that's basically what you're doing. You're managing killing the people. The clothes that they leave behind, the guy resews and retailers and sells the clothes. You are chopping up the human bodies, and you're making all sorts of different foods which have different price values, and then you're selling those in your shop. So it's all about a management sim where you have to like manage how many humans can you kill, and then what food should you make, how much money can you get from which food you're making, and then as you progress, you like unlock different upgrades. Like you can unlock a little garden for your top floor, so you can grow like potatoes and onions and tomatoes, so like add to your dishes to make them more valuable. You can eventually get like a helper who helps out in the main floor. He kind of runs the shop while you stay downstairs cooking. You can unlock so you start with a meat grinder to make hamburger out of people, but then you can also get a sausage maker, and then you eventually get a steak cutting table. And let me tell you, Carlos, the animation for when you're cutting human steak is fucking gross AF, dude. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe that I'm watching this. This is gory, and I turned my stomach a little bit, dude. It was pretty intense.
Well, this has got to be the strange cast, because one thing, this is a strange game, but also you're saying this so matter-of-factly that it's like making me nervous. You're like, then you made your hamburger from the person. This is the grossest thing. But no wonder they moved town.
So that's exactly it, right? Someone was onto them. They had to change their identities, move to a new town. They set up shop. So that's part of the game, right? Like you're killing people, you're making food, you're reselling their clothes, managing your store. But on top of that, there are also these little brief story interludes, and I really feel like a couple things are kind of genius about this game. So number one are the story interludes, where every so often you'll get like a little cutscene where you'll be talking to somebody in the town, or somebody will come visit you, and you just like kind of interact with them a little bit. It's only like a minute or so, like it's very short, but I really think those help sell the characters quite a bit, and it kind of humanizes them a little bit, and it kind of like gives a little bit more of a picture into like the world that they live in. The other thing that I think is really brilliant about this game is that it's not very punitive. So you can do poorly in your shop, like maybe you mismanage your stuff, you didn't kill enough people, you made the wrong food or whatever. um, you're just kind of working towards things. Like you're not ever really punished. You're not really ever set back. Like you don't need to buy supplies. You don't need to like ever pay a penalty if you mess something up. And so I feel like, in contrast to like what a gruesome, weird game this is, it's actually really relaxing because you're not ever really like, oh man, I screwed up and my game is fucked and now I can't get, I'm stuck and I got to restart. Like it's just like, I had a bad day. That's okay. I'm going to reset the next day and I'll just do better the next time. So structurally, like it's very positive in that you're not punished and you can just keep working towards your goals. And if you have a real bad day, it's totally fine. You just try again the next day and it's okay. So for such a dark, cannibalistic, like nihilistic game, I think it's
Yeah.
strangely positive and strangely relaxing in some
It's
ways.
like the mechanics are super relaxing. It looks like it's from the trailer and what you're
Yeah,
describing.
yeah.
But then like yeah, the I still don't think I could play it because it's like I can't get past the whole you're gonna kill people and make the food out of them thing.
Man, some of the animation is pretty gross. But I really liked it a lot. I mean, it's a small game. I think the whole game in total is probably like 5 hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours. You can unlock most of the stuff to your shop, like before you're even done with the game. There's other stuff you can unlock. There's a couple little bonus objectives, but it's a very small game. But I feel like that was really good. I tweeted about this earlier, and I said this was really the perfect game for me to get into after Elden Ring, which was so huge, so many options, open world, so many things to do, so many secret bosses. In this game, it's like it's all right there. Like it's very straightforward. You're just making food over and over. You're sewing the clothes over and over. It's pretty repetitive, but I say that in a good way where I came to grips with it really quickly. I mastered it pretty quickly, and then it was about what did I want to do? Like how did I want to run the shop? And it was just a very small kind of capsule experience where I could jump in and it was relaxing and I knew what I was doing and I felt like I was making progress. And just from a structural design, I feel like it was really brilliant. They made a lot of really great choices. So I liked that a lot. I thought the graphics were great, great tone. The only thing that I will kind of knock it for a little bit, and not too much because I really think this game's awesome. I will knock it for, I wish there were a couple choices. There were a few times when a story scene came up and I really felt like, okay, am I making a choice? No. And then I was like, well, are they tracking what I've done? Is it perhaps looking at what I've done so far and then making the choice for me? And I don't think so. I think all the story is pre-programmed. I don't think that there are any choices, which to me is a
Mm.
little bit of a bummer because I would like to play this again. It's such a short experience and it was so fun that I would totally play it again and make different choices if there were different choices, but I don't think that there are. So I feel like they missed a trick by not giving you more choices. Like for example, there's a boy that you meet. I'm not going to spoil everything about it, but let's just say that you meet this kid. He's kind of a street urchin sort of a guy.
Oh, do you make
And
it? Do you
so,
mix them up with urchins?
I'm
Is the urchin
not. I'm
dinner?
not gonna. I'm not gonna spoil anything,
Right.
but you can make a choice and you get an achievement. Oh, sorry. Let me take that back. You don't make the choice, but something happens to him that is an achievement, and I'm like, well, if that's going to be an achievement, I didn't really do anything other than play the game. I wish that it was a choice that I could have had with this urchin kid.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say which way that went, but it seemed like that would have been a really easy A or B, C or D kind of a thing. That wouldn't have been too crazy. But I mean, it's a small game. Seems like a very limited budget, but I feel like everything they've done here was smart. I feel like every part of the game works, and it's not huge. I would like to see a little bit more to it, but overall, I gotta say, I really had a great time with it. I thought it was so fun, really gross and dark. I appreciated the theming of it, and the mechanics were great, and just overall. Oh, and the best part, this game's $5 fucking, dude. It's
Yeah.
five
It's
bucks.
good value.
It's so cheap. It's like, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite games of the year so far. It's so weird and so gross, and it was so um I don't know, like charming in a way in terms of game design, how it just felt really welcomed to play it. And if you don't have a problem with the subject material, I feel like super positive experience. So
I'm gonna. I know I didn't play it, but I'm gonna say something that you said earlier in the show. Like, you wonder like why someone made a game.
Yeah.
Like I wonder why they picked this specific topic, because from the art, beautiful. From your description of the gameplay, I'm sure I would love it. Short experience, also love it. Yeah, no choices, it's fine. But and it looks like Fallout Shelter, by the way. That's
A
another.
little bit, yeah. The side view, the ant farm view, yeah.
So all those things are great, but I don't want gross in my life, and I don't want cannibal stuff in my life. So I 1000% won't play this. And again, that's that thing of like, what's the choice behind this? Because I don't know. I mean, what's that demographic for like people who really like cannibal games? I think
I mean,
it's got to be low.
it's probably pretty low, but I mean, to me, the hook is like it's a dark subject matter. Like it's darkly. I mean, I feel like there's some societal comment. I feel like it's definitely offbeat, right? Like it's something that's really, really dark. It's not something that you get all the time. So that in itself, I think, is a little bit of a worth a look. But I feel also like their take on this kind of like management sim genre. Like you also do some cooking and stuff too. Mechanically, I didn't really talk about this, but I feel like their system of how they designed the game, switching the cursor between multiple floors and being able to manage different things at the same time, is really well done. Like I was able
Yeah.
to, without a mouse, like using controller, navigate through this. And I feel like structurally, they had some really brilliant breakthroughs here, where I feel like other games could take some lessons from what this game is doing, just in terms of how you work the mechanics. How do you have three different characters on three different floors doing the same, doing something without a mouse? I feel like that part came really well. So I feel like in terms of that, also really successful. And for me, I'm always in the market for an interesting story that tells itself in a short period of time. In and out in 5 hours. To me, I feel like this game was worthy of existing. I feel like it's great. I had a wonderful time with it, and yeah, it's gross. And even, I mean, God, the steak table, dude. Like, do not Google the steak table if you don't want to puke.
No, I'm not gonna.
It's pretty harsh, but I feel like overall, great stuff. I loved this game.
I'll let you. I'll let the resounding from the So Video Games podcast message be that people should check it out. But I will say that it totally looks like, especially from the art, that it should just be a vampire game. Like it just feels like, oh, they're vampires and they move around and they eat people, but maybe they don't cook them up into a hamburger. They just like drink their blood.
Yeah.
I know that's like very small differences, but yeah. Anywho, strange game.
Strange cast. I love Ravenous Devils. Love that game. Had a great time with it. Finished it. Loved it. Okay. Anyway.
Asterisk. Sweeney Todd, the movie, but Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
It's called The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Of Fleet Street. Yes.
I feel like I watched sections of it. I don't think I ever watched it all the way through. And I love, obviously Johnny Depp's in the news right now. Won't go into that. But it says in the description of that movie that it's a legendary tale of a barber who returns from wrongful imprisonment, bent on revenge, and resumes his trade while forming a sinister partnership with his fellow tenant, Mrs. Lovett. So it sounds like a totally different type of story. Like the Sweeney Todd thing is not just about cannibalism, right?
I mean, she makes the pies out of the bodies in that movie. Like he kills them and she makes the pies. So it's basically that exact thing. So
that's where the connection is. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I'm not gonna watch that either.
Good stuff, though. Good stuff. All right, and that is Ravenous Devils, and this is a show, as always.
No.
I'm
gonna do this every time now.
You got a surprise?
Real surprise. Quick surprise game.
Extra surprise.
Super fast. Because I never play. I play a few games on mobile, and I just like stick with like three, and then I just play only those three. But I picked up a new one just because it's of the Mana series. Echoes of Mana came out for mobile.
Never heard of it. Tell us all about it, sir.
Just real quick, because we don't have a lot of time, but it's you hold your phone sideways, whatever that view is, right? So it's not top down, or whatever they call it. Why am I not thinking of the words? It's the end of the podcast. It's horizontal.
Yeah.
So it's an action RPG. Like it's in some sense, you play as a character. You got to go just like a lot of the Mana games. You have to find a sword and save the world or whatever. But basically, you recruit NPCs, similar to like a Genshin Impact or something. You can unlock characters, which is fun. The gacha kind of element. But then when you're actually playing the game and doing the combat, you're going left to right, with your thumb anywhere on the screen to your left. And then there's a series of buttons on your right-hand corner. And there's a power-up. There's, special moves, combo moves, all that stuff. And it is all pretty intuitive. And the animation's like, simple 2D colorful art, but it's super addictive because like they did a really good job of like the monetization is just there, but it's not like in your face. You can like play and you don't really, I haven't run out of energy or all that bullshit, coins or rubies or anything.
Right.
I just feel like I'm just playing, and yeah, I can get better, and I've lost a couple battles, but there's all these little short vignettes, and those are the levels you're in. And so they have like, dialogue, and it feels like a JRPG. And then you do, these little missions. So it's great. Like, it's fucking great. And I like had no idea. And you know how much I love action combat in the Mana series. So if you like the Mana series and you wanted to play a game on mobile that was that style, it's pretty damn good.
All right.
I just thought I'd mention it because I play like 4 games on mobile.
I mean, I play one game on mobile. I mean, we kind of have looked at mobile a couple times over the years, and every time we look, it's just like a big cesspool of garbage. So to find one that's worth talking about, I think is excellent. So Echoes of Mana seems like a win.
It is. Check it out.
All right, check it out. All right, folks. Now that is for realsies.
That is for
a show.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, folks. As always, we'd love to get your questions and comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @sovideogames. But you can reach us individually. Carlos, where are we directing your traffic this week?
TikTok, Carlos Rodella, Rodela. That's it.
That's it. All right, excellent. As for me, same as always, Twitter and Instagram's my name, BRADGALLAWAY. All A's, no O's. And that's going to do it for episode 283. Thank you again for joining us here on the So Video Games podcast. I mean it. I really do. And we'll see you next week. But in the meantime, this is bye from Brad.
And bye from Carlos. But I don't know if it was strange enough or weird enough. I feel like we should say one last thing that's pretty weird or strange to make it the Weird Strange Cast.
I mean, have you ever taken a bath in tartar sauce?
No, have you?
No, but that would be weird.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say yes. You did. All right, bye.
Bye.